everybody, blessings and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be talking about friendship and specifically the 7 signs of fake and phony friends. But before we get into our topic of discussion, I want to invite you to become a subscriber if you're not a subscriber. Also, if you like this content and you like what I'm doing over here at this channel, feel free to share this video and others. And also feel free to drop me a comment. As always, I do appreciate everyone's support of this channel. Now, let's get into the topic of the 7 signs of fake and phony friends. You know, the Bible talks a great deal about the topic of friendship. And there is one scripture in particular that really sticks out to me on this topic, and that is in the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 26. And it says, "The righteous choose their friends carefully." What great words of wisdom. It's very important for us to choose our friends carefully because friends have the ability to either build you up and lift you up, or if you invite the wrong people into your life and you call them friends, they can take you down and they can destroy you. So we have to be very careful as to the people that we select to come into our lives and the people that we select to be our friends and that we call friends. We have to be careful about who we select because they do have an impact on our lives. Friendships are very important. Friendships is a very crucial relationship in our lives, and we all need friends, right? So because that relationship is so important, and friendships, they're different. They're not like our family and our family of origin. I mean, we get to choose who our friends are. Unlike our family, we don't really have a choice into the family that we're born into, but we have the option of choosing our friends and the people that we want around us, which is a great privilege. And with that privilege comes responsibility, and a responsibility on us is to make sure that we really check people out and we really get to know people before we let them into our circle, especially our inner circle. So with that, I want to discuss the 7 signs of fake and phony people. Sometimes we invite people into our lives and, we get along with them and we share common interest and we click right away with them. And then we say, hey, that's my boy, that's my girl, right? And, we really have to be cautious and careful, like the Bible says, because there are some fake people, there are some phony people, and there's some people who really do not have your best interest and should not be your friend. So here are the 7 signs. Sign number 1 is that they are two-faced. These people are very inconsistent. They are one way with you and another way with another group of people. These people, they are character impaired and they're very disingenuous, right? So they have a very inconsistent nature, a very inconsistent character, right? So let's say, for instance, maybe you're not all that well off financially, and maybe you don't have as much as others, and maybe in your group or maybe in certain circles, and this so-called friend, this fake friend, treats you differently than, let's say, the wealthier group or the wealthier people in the circle, right? So they act one way with you and another way with a different group of people, or they act different with you when it's like one-on-one, but when you get around certain people that you may have mutual friends with, they're like a totally different person. So a fake friend is almost always a two-faced person. They're just not consistent people in the way that they behave and the way that they treat you. So you don't want to have to deal with two-faced people. Make sure the people that you connect yourself to and with, that they are consistent most of the time. I mean, sometimes we get out of character and sometimes things happen and, we may, blow up, or we may not be like ourselves if we're going through problems. But for the most part, you want to check always that a person is the same with you and with other groups of people, that they're the same with you throughout thick and thin, that they're not two-faced. So that's the number one sign. And I think really the major characteristic of a fake and phony friend is that they're a two-faced person, right? So the second sign is that they don't have your back. They're not really like protective of you. Like, they would allow people to talk about you, and sometimes maybe they'll join in and talking about you when you're, not around. They don't stick up for you. They don't defend you when someone's dragging you and dragging your reputation. Friends are supposed to have your back. They're supposed to be ride or die. They won't allow people to drag you or to make you look bad. They're always going to have, a good friend is always going to have your back. But, a fake and a phony friend, they'll just step back when people are dragging you and saying things about you, lying on you, accusing you of things. But real friends are protective people, not possessive, but protective people. And real friends, they always have your back. They're always going to look out for you. They're not going to allow people to just say any old thing about you. They're not going to allow people to lie on you. They're not going to, they're going to protect you when you're not around. And those are the type of people that you want to connect yourself to. But a fake friend, somebody who's a fraud, they're just not going to have your back. And when you're going through tough times and when you're suffering, and they're just not going to be around. And then they're not going to stick up for you when people come for you. So just keep that in mind. So that's the second sign and characteristic of a fake and phony friend. The third one is that I spoke at great length about this in one of my most popular videos on jealousy, is that, a fake friend and a phony friend is jealous. They are jealous of you. And I just want you to know that you really cannot be friends with a jealous person. I'm sorry. They may have other great qualities, but if the person is jealous of you, they are dangerous. If a person is jealous of you, jealousy it's a destructive spirit, and it's a murderous spirit. And we don't want to get really tied up and connected with jealous people, because jealous people may plot against you. Jealous people really at the core don't have your best interest. They're not going to look out for you. They want what you have. They want to try to be like you. And, I have a whole video on it. I'll probably, put it in, link it up to this one, but check it out if you haven't already. But, they're jealous. A fake friend is jealous. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want you to rise above them or to do well. They're jealous people. So you cannot be friends with a jealous person. And one of the characteristics of a fake and phony friend is that they're jealous. But a real friend is going to be happy when good things happen for you. They're not going to be jealous. They're not going to, be envious of you. They're going to be glad when you achieve. They're not going to try to be like you or compete with you in a weird way. So those are the things that you want to look out for. The jealousy. You really cannot be friends with a jealous person. I have tried, and it has been a disaster every time. So once I pick that up and I see that in people, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So that's the third thing. The fourth sign and characteristic is that they are takers. These people are parasites. Fakes and phonies and frauds, people who are really not your friend, all they do is take from you. They take up your time. They're leeches. They take up your energy. They take up your resources. They take up your money. They're takers, and they never, ever give to you. They drain you. They drain your time. They drain your resources. They drain you emotionally. They call you, they text you. All they do is dump on you their problems, their situations. Everything revolves around them. And all they do is take from you. A real friend, a true friend, is going to give to you. You're going to feel good in their presence. and you're not going to feel drained after being around them. But the takers, they will drain you. You're not going to feel good around them. And that's not a real friend. That's a fake friend. You know, they really only want to be around you because of what you can provide to them. So you really can't also be friends with people who just take from you all the time. You know, you've got your own life and things to tend to. Please do not attach yourself to a taker. They will suck the life right out of you. So that's the fourth sign. The fifth one is that they are self-absorbed. They're self-centered. Everything is about them. In discussions and conversations, it's all about them. All they do is talk, and they never listen to you. That's why if you want to be a good friend, and the sign of a good friend is to be a good listener. That's something that I'm personally working on, becoming a better listener. Good friends are usually good listeners, right? But the fakes and the phonies, oftentimes, many of them, they don't listen well, and it's everything, all they do is talk, and everything is all about them. Now, I'm not trying to get on talkative people. Just because a person is talkative doesn't mean that, you know, they are self-absorbed. But even if you're dealing with a talkative person, at some point they got to take a break and make time to listen to you. So that's what you want to watch out for. You know, I have talkative friends who they do listen. They talk a lot, but they do listen as well. So you want to look out for that. But that fake friend is really self-absorbed. You know, everything. You know, conceited, self-centered, and then there's the opposite of that, where, you know, the woe is me type, and all they do is complain and talk about their problems all the time. That's another form of self-absorption. So you got to watch the two. The one that thinks they're cute and they're conceited and everything is all about them, and they're, you know, all this, and they think they're all that. And then there's the other one where the world is against me. Everything is so awful. Come be with me. It's all about me. Poor me. Yeah, that's another person you got to watch out for. So that's not a real friend. You don't want to be around somebody that's where it's just all about them, like all the time. So the only thing that they're doing, they just need an audience. And you just don't want to be an audience member. You want a relationship with people where there's give and take, where you can listen to each other and, you know, build each other up. But if everything's just centered around one person, and you always doing what that friend wants to do, and they never ask you what you want to do, and every time you get in a conversation is about their problems and issues, and they're always crying and whining about something. Nah, you know, that's a fake friend. So that's the fifth thing. The sixth sign is that they are insensitive. This is a really, really important thing to watch out for. This is something that, you know, the fakes are usually insensitive people, right? I think it's important, especially in this day and age, for us to, when we are looking to make friends and we're inviting people into our lives, we have to make sure we need to also check for and also build this quality within ourselves for emotional intelligence and people who are self-aware, right? You know, a real friend has to be aware of how they're treating you. But a fake friend, someone who is not good for you, someone who's phony, who's really not for you, they're insensitive people. They're going to say things to you and just let things fly out of their mouths, and they're not going to be sensitive to the tone that they speak to you in. And I know, you know, people have certain types of friendships where they may bash each other, and there may be some banter back and forth, and that might be the type of friendship that you have with certain people, but it's all in good nature and fun, and everyone's kind of like teasing each other, and, you know, that's fine as long as everyone's laughing about it. But when the person knows that there's certain things and topics that's like a trigger for you, and certain things that would upset you, and they'll say it anyway, or do it anyway, that means that person is insensitive, or they're not able to, going back to the emotional intelligence, a friend is able to pick up on kind of like on your mood. If you're not quite acting like yourself, you might be a little depressed, or going through something, or if you're too quiet, they're going to ask, Sherry, is everything okay? They're going to ask you if everything is okay, and what's going on. A real friend is kind of like tuned in. It's like the healthy soul tie is formed. So when you form a healthy soul tie with another human being, they're connected to you, and they're able to pick up on your mood and how you're feeling, and they're gonna have that connection to you. But the fake and the fraud and the phony friend, they don't have that sort of connection. They haven't taken the time. They don't have the emotional intelligence. They don't care, and they're just insensitive people. And and it's pretty dangerous to connect yourself to an insensitive person. These are people who will continually hurt your feelings, and then they'll apologize to try to reel you back in. Be careful of that, because that could easily turn into abuse. And there are friendships that can get, or so-called friendship that can get quite abusive. So you really have to watch out for that behavior. You want to make sure that the people that you invite into your life, that they are sensitive to you emotionally and to your needs, and that they're just not going to say or do anything to you. They're going to consider you because they care about you and because they love you. And finally, the seventh sign is that I know might seem a little bit obvious, but they don't like you. The fake friend at the very core really doesn't like you. I mean, that might sound like, okay, duh, it's like, if the person is a fake and a phony friend, they don't like you. Exactly. They don't like you. And it's I don't mean to throw my fellow women under the bus, but women have the tendency, as far as I know, being one and being around so many, you'll see some women who will be around other women that they really don't like, and pretend to be their friends, and connect to these women or people. They could be men too, or whoever. And that you have some women who are fake and who are phony, who will be around people that they don't like. And usually men will do it too, but I just see it more so with women. And people tend to do this because they have an ulterior motive, and they're being sneaky about something, and they're trying to get something over on you, or they're trying to hurt someone, or get something out of people. So, the fake and a phony friend really doesn't like you, but they're around you because they have some sort of ulterior motive. And at the core of it, that's really what it's about. Fake friends, phony friends do not like you. They do not care about you, and they really don't love you. But a genuine person, a real friend, is going to like you, and you're going to feel that they like you, and there's not going to be any unease about that. So that's the seventh sign, is that they don't like you. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to share with you in this video. Number one, they're two-faced. Number two, they don't have your back. Number three, they're jealous. Number four, they're takers. Number five, they are self-absorbed. Number six, they're insensitive. And number seven, they don't like you. Those are the seven signs. Friendships are extremely important, and we want to make sure that we connect ourselves to good people, caring people, loving people, because life is short. Friendships could really build us up and help us to develop into better people. I thank God for my friends, and we'll have some friends and some people who will cycle in and cycle out of our lives. It doesn't mean that they're bad people, that you may not be no longer friends with them. Sometimes we go our separate ways, and that's just how it is. So I just want to leave you with this bit of wisdom that I got from a podcast, actually. So I was listening to a podcast, and the person who was on the podcast, he was talking about his 90-year-old mother. And he asked his 90-year-old mother, what are some of the words of wisdom that you would like to impart to me or say to me that I should know as I age? And his mom said, make sure that you make younger friends. And the guy said, that was probably some of the wisest advice he ever received, and I had to agree with him that that's like some of the best advice that I've heard from an elder. Yes. So as we move through life, we want to make sure that we make younger friends. Because as we age, we'll begin to lose people, and it's good to really make friends at different stages and different ages and different points of life. But yeah, make sure you make younger friends. I thought that was outstanding and really great advice for life. And make sure not only that you make younger friends, you make older friends, you make friends your age. Make sure get out of the box, different cultures, people with different life experiences, so it can help you to grow as a human being and as a individual, and could continue to make friends. And I know it could be tough to make friends, especially as we get older, and especially in this age of technology where many things are virtual and we don't have as much. We have the option of not having as much human contact. Human contact is very important. Even if you're like me and you're an introvert, it's important for us introverts to get out and to make friends and to have connections. Connections are, actually critical to our lifespan and health span and mental wellness, connecting with people. But actually, if you want to make friends and you want quality friends, you want to avoid the fake and the phony ones, where we need to start with ourselves. Make sure that you're developing yourself and that you're becoming a good person, that you will be a great person to be in a friendship with. And it always starts with us. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. Take care. God bless. And I will see you in the next one.